Across the Nile lies a transformative landmark representing a blend of high-notch innovation, architectural imagination, and delivering clean, renewable energy. The Karuma Hydropower Station, a symbol of the country's determination on her journey to economic independence. The 600 megawatts Karuma Hydropower project is located on River Nile in Kiriandongo district, 110 kilometers downstream of Lake Choga and 270 kilometers from Kampala city. As Uganda continues to work on the demand and transmission networks, it is important that we have a source of generation.
We drive universal access to 100% access to clean energy. The need for power generation continues to remain critical.
Vision 2040, we are supposed to have 52,000 megawatts. We are currently, with the commissioning of Karuma, at about 2,000 megawatts. And when you look at the demand, industrial development in this country, certainly will need to increase generation capacity.
If we were to achieve the third principle of the NRM of socio-economic transformation, we have to invest in power generation, transmission, and distribution. People must get access to power, not only just power, but reliable power and affordable power.
Karuma's infrastructure is a whiz of modern engineering designed to withstand the natural forces of the river while prioritizing ecological harmony. In 1996, NOPAC, a Norwegian energy company, acquired exclusive rights to develop the project. In 2003, a feasibility study showed that Karuma would produce 200 megawatts as a run-of-the-river power plant. NOPAC, however, pulled out of the project in 2008. In 2012, another study was done which changed the initial plan. Karuma would now have an underground powerhouse and produce 600 megawatts once it was completed.
This was in a bid to increase the head so that we could get a higher installed capacity from the same location using the same storage or volume of water, but with an increased head.
The $1.7 billion project is funded by the Exim Bank of China and implemented by China's Sino Hydropower Company.
Sanhoji is an international construction companies, and his main job is for the hydropower project, because we have other infrastructure and the solar project. This is a very huge companies. We started the business in Uganda 2009 for the Pujakari project. That time we are doing construction of the electrical mechanical works.
On August 12, 2013, President Yoweri Museveni launched the project and actual civil works commenced on December 16, 2013. The state-of-the-art project was meticulously designed with 6 major components: a dam section, power intake unit, powerhouse, transformer cavern, surge chamber, pressure shafts, cable shaft, and 2 tail race tunnels for returning water circulating through the turbines back to the river. These are intake and dam structures. The dam is constructed with 9 hydromechanical spillway gates.
The dams are meant to keep a certain level of water. So these spillway gates, in essence, control these levels. And so the 9 of them are currently operational. And on the extreme right of the river, we have a fish ladder.
Because during the studies which were done, it was discovered that there's some migratory fish which breed and spawn upstream. So when you put a barrier, you'll be affecting them. So you have to make a provision where they can be able to move upstream. So the fish ladder mimics the normal flow of the river without the dam wall. So the fish can feel it's the real river and they swim upstream and go and spawn.
This structure is not a threat to the flowing River Nile. It was designed with ecological flow gates.
This is to allow a minimum of 100 cubic meters per second of water all the time, because we don't want to completely stop the river from flowing. We have to keep a wet bed at all times.
To access the powerhouse, you drive through a 2.5 kilometers arch tunnel built by blasting the mountain rock, creating a 12-meter wide and 9-meter tall tunnel.
Right now we are 100 meters underground from the surface, and this is where the powerhouse is situated.
When the inlet gate is open, water is released from the reservoir to the intake, falls through a penstock to the turbine. Each of the installed 6 turbine units is served by independent intake inlets. From a head of 60 meters and 70 meters maximum, each turbine requires at least a volume of 182,000 liters per second to be able to rotate and generate 100 megawatts. From the transformer, the 400 kV power is sent to the gas insulated switchgear GIS.
If we had gone outdoor switchgear, the transmission outside there, it could not fit here. So they introduced this technology. This technology minimizes the space.
From the GIS, the 400 kV power is sent out in 2 lines to enable flexibility to switch from one line to another in case one line went off. The power is then distributed through transmission line, including outgoing line 1 and 2 towards the National Transmission Center in Kawanda, Kampala, Lira substation, and the Nebi substation that supplies reliable power in the West Nile region that has never been on the national grid.
We are now able to serve areas of Gulu better. Nowadays, the power is reliable. At one point, it was quite unreliable in the greater northern Uganda.
And we will continue generating more power so that we have 100% of the population of Uganda access. Right now, we are at 60%, where 22% are on the national grid and 38% is on mini grids, other sources. So we want, at least by 2030, to have 100% access to power.
Currently, the amount of kerosene which we are importing and using is going down because everybody is moving into clean energy. We want to move those who are cooking using firewood, using charcoal, let them come to use electricity for cooking. We want to focus on the children. I don't want any child actually to be reading using a candle.
The completion of the Karuma hydropower station marks a significant milestone in Uganda's expedition towards energy independence and sustainable development. The 600 megawatts project will not only electrify Uganda, but it will also serve as a critical component for the East African power pool.
We are already selling power to Kenya, Tanzania, Rwanda, and we are working on transmission lines to South Sudan, but also to the DRC Congo. Therefore, it will be very important that we continue to grow our capacity so that we are trading efficiently with our neighbors and supporting them. When you look at a country like South Sudan, they are currently running generators, diesel generators, very expensive power from fossil fuels. So aligning with the green movement, aspects of climate change, when we enter this power trade, we are also offsetting enormous carbon emissions, not only in Uganda, but also in our neighboring countries.
Uganda is poised to become a leader in green energy, not just in Africa, but globally.
The vehicles, the buses are going to move into electric buses. We are going to have, even the train is going to be electric. So that means we need to increase the generation of power, the amount of power which we are producing.
It is more than just the source of power. It is a catalyst for change, transforming communities, driving industrial growth, and improving the quality of life for millions of Ugandans.
The historical background of Karuma and the image of Karuma was not as normal now. Karuma was some few houses from that time, but right now, anyone can just come and be surprised how Karuma developed. From the village, change to the town council because the influx of the people were increased.
We foresee that Karuma is going to see a boom in industrialization arising from that government policy of direct supply of power from the generator to the end user, and therefore an incentive to set up industrial parks close to the power plants.
UEGCL has gone beyond its cardinal role of generating electricity to improving the general welfare of the local people.
At one point, this project was employing over 10,000 local staff. So it's something that we emphasize to the service providers that we should make a difference within the community, and one of them is to make sure that we give them jobs.
We've gained skills in design reviews, in contract management. We are now in a better position and more confident if we got another big project of this size to work on it.
From the experience I've gained from here, I can run my own IT firm because I've really interconnected the entire project, both underground and then on surface.
The existence of the project has created business opportunities and improved infrastructure with a focus on health and education.
The standard of living was rudimentary, and you'll be surprised what the 8 or so years have done to this place. That speaks to the impact of the project. But critically, on the side of the Community Development Action Program that we implemented alongside the Uganda Electricity Generation Company, we've been able to set up schools, health centers, and those are transforming lives. We are seeing more children benefiting from the schools that we set up, but also better health care.
The Karuma Hydropower Project leaves a modern, fully equipped health center, D. Chwinyi General Hospital.
It is the only health center 3 in Kamdini sub-county. Before this place was established, the community of this area, they used to move to those health center 2s, and others were even unable to move, so they could rely on the small drug shops around this area.
I came here and met the nurse. She worked on me so fast, and I also gave birth quickly. The reception was very good, and I am still being taken care of very well. I gave birth to a baby girl, and I am so happy.
In antenatal, we managed to get 103 mothers that attended antenatal from here. We managed to admit 14 mothers, and out of 14, the 11 delivered normally without any problem. And we managed to get 12 babies because one mother gave birth to twins.
The CSR initiatives undertaken by the Karuma Hydropower Project have left a lasting impression on the communities it serves. Richard Opito, the head teacher of Amaji Primary School, vividly recalls the state of the school before the Karuma project intervened.
Amaji Primary School formerly had very old structures. Children were sitting down on the floor. But as a result of the intervention, they constructed for us very decent classrooms, well equipped with a desk and other learning materials.
When we were still in the other classroom, there were no good lights, but now we have good electricity that we can learn at night, revise our books, and that one is going to improve on our performance.
Furthermore, the school now has access to clean water supply, which has had a positive impact on the students' general health and hygiene. Consequently, these improvements have significantly increased enrollment at the school, as parents now trust the school. At Puron Primary School in Noya District, the Karuma Hydro Project Community Development Action Program, Phase 1, left significant developments.
Before the construction of this classroom block, we were not having enough light to read because of darkness. This makes us not to perform well in our school here. We were not having also the teacher's quarter. Our teacher was using grass thatch huts for living. That also give our teacher more courageous.
They constructed 2 classroom blocks, the head teacher's office, 4 staff houses, and 4 VIP latrines with improved facilities.
Initially, we were having actually grass thatch houses, And you would imagine a teacher living that actually such accommodation. When it is raining and then your room is leaking, how do you feel? Even your materials that you have to use in your lesson, you cannot even prepare. So now we are very grateful to Uganda Electricity Generation Company Limited.
9 kilometers from Karuma towards Kampala is Dimma Primary School, which has also benefited from the project. Being on the highway, it shines with beauty in UEGCL brand colors.
The school was totally in a very bad state. The classrooms, very old. The teachers' houses, only grass-thatched houses, where teachers were even fearing to stay in them. And most teachers would come from very far, renting, and late coming was the issue. The situation wasn't good. We are very glad UCGL came in and gave us 4 classrooms, staff room and an office. I didn't have an office. There was an old structure, classroom, which was used as an office. One time the DO told me, "Won't you die here in the school, in this office?" I said, "What can I do?" This way. So he told me, "Sit under the tree." I said, "No, God will one day bring."
Generating affordable electricity is one of the development strategy and goals of the government under Vision 2040.
Electricity has the highest impact in reducing poverty. So that speaks to the significance of this project. The government's commitment to ensure socio-economic transformation of the country, but also critically the commitment we've made in the National Development Plan 3 to ensure clean energy access.
This Karuma power will positively affect our tariff. But our target as government is to supply the industrial parks first at 5 US cents per kilowatt hour. Then we will trickle down to the communities, and every January I will be announcing the tariff for the year.
The completion of the Karuma Hydro Power Station marks a significant milestone in Uganda's journey towards energy independence and sustainable development. The government aims at transforming Uganda from a predominantly peasant and low-income country to a competitive upper-middle-income country